Hey guys, so I just re-recorded? Yeah, I did actually. I re-recorded the video I did before because I had so many interruptions. Anyway, so you guys want to know a bit more about me. And one of the questions that came up was, do I have any medical conditions and stuff like that? And the answer is yes. I suffer from EDS, that's Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, because EDS stands for many different things. It probably just stands for 4 or something. But no, I've seen quite a few lists of them, and pretty much that's to do with my connective tissue and like things like my ligaments, and which can affect my bones, because obviously ligaments and stuff and tendons are attached to your bones, and it can affect my cartilage and stuff like that, and it also affects my heart and some other vital organs. But I got diagnosed with this about 5 years ago. I had it from birth, but we got it finally diagnosed, me and my mum got diagnosed with it, and pretty much it affects my body in the way that I'll just get random pain it'll be obviously it's going to be not going to be for no reason, because it's my underlying problem is my EDS, but I will get pain and I will wake up some mornings and I'll be in absolute agony, and that's because the tissue and the cartilage and the fluid around my spine is really affected, and if I don't keep up my mobility, then that mobility just starts to degrade, and I will get a lot worse and a lot quicker. So it's why I kind of do a lot of sports and I'm kind of out there and outgoing. It's because if I stop, that's when it'll affect me most, and that is when I will pretty much crumble to the ground, and I really don't want that to happen. So basically, it can affect me a lot. I mean, I got a lot of broken cartilage, so you can hear clicks like that and stuff like that. I can do weird things, and I'm hyper flexible as well. And no matter how much I try to do strengthening exercises, so that stops the hyper flexibleness. That's not even a word, but I'm gonna use it. But I pretty much, it doesn't work no matter how much. I'd have to be in the gym every day, but with that, it affects my muscle fibers as well. So basically, I do exercise. I do lat pull downs, for instance, and then the muscle fibers will obviously tear, and then normally they repair and rebuild, but twice more and bigger and stronger. Well, mine would take longer to do that because I don't have the right genetic code. Does that even make sense? I can't explain it really. It takes longer for me to heal. So if I cut myself, not literally, I don't do that, guys. If I fall over and hurt myself and I end up grazing something, then I'm most likely to scar. I'm not gonna. I mean, I've had a few scars on my face which are disappearing, but I've had them for years, and I think I've got a scar on my chest right there, and it's been with me since forever. But since I had chickenpox in year 2, and I'm now in year 13, so go figure. And it is awful, and it's not rare, it's undiagnosed. It's also known as, people call it double jointed, but of course you can't have 2 joints in a joint, it's just the one. It's basically where you can do freaky stuff and stuff like that, which I can do, but I choose not to, and you're told not to, because otherwise it does make it worse. So don't go around doing all these freaky deaky stuff. It's not good for you. But simple things like walking around for not ages, but walking around, or some days I can wake up and I just physically, if I move, it hurts, and I cannot physically explain it enough unless you have it and you understand, then it gets you as well, because you can't do things that you want to do. You just strive to do so much because you want to get over that barrier, but you can't, and it's awful because everyone else can do it, and you're just stood there and you're like, you just don't think it's a medical condition yourself. Obviously it is, and it's just like heartbreaking because you physically cannot do that, and people just see me and think, oh yeah, you're perfect, you're fine, you're healthy, yeah, get over yourself, shut up, what you... But you wouldn't think that I go to a chiropractor to get manipulated, meaning my bones put back into the right place and stuff like that, and the cartilage being sorted out. People wouldn't think that, because I do a lot of sport and things like that, people wouldn't think that I've got something wrong with me. And it's awful, because then I feel guilty if I don't do what they want me to do, and that just really upsets me deeply. And obviously I don't share that because I don't break down in tears like every time that I can't do something, but sometimes it does get to me more than others because I've tried so many times to just be that normal kid and do normal things, but I physically cannot, and it's just awful. And I get a lot of crap for it, I must admit. Sorry, bad word, crap. Don't say that, kids. Yeah, unless you're over 16 and mature. No jokes. Say what you want to say, but don't aim it at anyone. And pretty much it gets me on like this almost like massive downer, but I physically cannot just like get that message across, and I'm just there, and not many other people have been diagnosed with it, but I feel alone almost, and I want to become a paramedic, so, full on job, and I know I can do it, and I can, this can sound so bad because I just said don't do any party tricks, but I can use my hyperflexibility to help me, but I'm not doing it in a bad way I'm not doing it in a bad way that I'm doing all these freaky party tricks, but I need that flexibility in order to pass some of the tests. Anyway, so yeah. But there is always that thing that if I write it down, nobody believes me. And I think the only person who just like is legit, well, gonna believe me is obviously my mum, because she has been diagnosed with it herself, and me and her both share like the same symptoms and stuff like that. But yeah, and it's just like really awful because people are just always just like, yeah, you're fine, shut up, you've got nothing wrong with you, because I'm not in a wheelchair, or because I'm not on crutches or stuff like that. I mean, no offence if you are. I mean, whatever helps you to get around, whatever helps you, but because I'm not on that and nobody can see that, like, it's a visual representation, you think, oh, there's something wrong. But with me, you can't see it, and people think, oh, well, you must be fine. But I'm not. And it's the same with people out there with, like, Crohn's disease and stuff like that. You can't see it on the outside, but it really affects them on the inside. And I can't stress that enough. Too many people get bullied because of that, and it's awful, because you can't say anything or do anything, because nobody really, I don't want to say cares, but nobody's really interested. You say, well, actually, I've got this wrong. They're like, well, I don't care. I'm not interested. But it's like really, really bad. I mean, even my brother doesn't believe me half the time, so that's saying something. And it's really heartbreaking because, like, I can legit have something wrong, and I have to persuade everyone that there's something wrong, and it's not a case of, look, I've got something wrong, and they're like, oh, okay, what should we do? It's, yeah, okay, right, whatever. But it's awful. I think I have, like, only a few friends who believe that I have something wrong, and they're like, and they believe me, but others are just like, get over it. And I've had people forget that I've even got something wrong, and they expect so much from me, and I'm like, look, mate, I physically cannot do that. And they're just like, why? And I'm like, I tell them, it's like, I cannot do it, because and when I say I physically cannot do it, I mean, it's not really a case of me going, oh, I'm going to try it, oh, I failed it, oh my god, I can never do it. It's me constantly trying to push past that barrier, and that barrier isn't breaking. So, yeah. But that's what I suffer from. And you know what, sometimes it's like the worst thing, but sometimes it can benefit me. So we got the good and the bad, but the bad outweigh the good. And as long as I keep going, and as long as I show and do stuff and keep going and stuff like that, is the longer that I'm going to survive with this condition, and it's not going to completely, like, eat me alive. I will say eat me alive, but it's not going to exactly eat me alive. It's not a disease or something. It's going to get to me and get me, and I'm not going to be able to do that stuff that I have been able to do. So if I stop and I'm not my outrageous self, well, I'm not outrageous, I don't say. I'm active. I like to do things. I like to do this. I mean, I don't care if nobody watches it. But I do care if people do watch it, because I value their opinions and stuff like that. But there's nothing worse than, like, I want to say, like, suffering from, like, an invisible illness. But, yeah, and that's why I am the way I am, and I strive for the best. It's because I know I'm physically not perfect. I'm not able, but, yeah. So it's like, it annoys me, because no matter what I do, I'm not... I forgot what I was going to say then. But I just wanted to give you a little bit of extra knowledge on that. And I also, before, like, my time runs out, like, cause I can only record 14 minutes, it's ridiculous. I'm not just saying this because I'm like fully legit, and you can ask several people. You can ask Sazzy D if you don't believe me, but it's not a case of if you believe me or not. I know first what you believe. If you believe it, fine, but if you don't, don't. It's up to you. But that's why I am who I am, and that's why I never answered that question when I got given it at first, is because I can't just sit there and just say I have EDS, because nobody's going to know what it is. So I just thought I'd take out my time to just explain to you how it just gets to me and stuff like that. But yeah, it was a bit of a depressing video, I must admit, but you want to know. So anyway, so you can hashtag me. I don't know if I'm going to put it down below because I keep forgetting to do that. But yeah, so you guys, I love you, whether you're perfect or not or whatever. Do you know what? I just love you for who you are. I love you because you're actually watching these videos, and I'm getting my me out there, and I'm doing some good out of it and stuff like that. But anyway, so you can follow me at Twitter, whatever. I'm not first. So anyway, guys, I love you, and I miss you dearly because I haven't been uploading these. So yeah, so I love you and I miss you. So I'm going to say bye.